I just spent one day at Universal Studios because they do have a Black Pearl pirate ship. They have Jaws, the massive Jaws set and stuff that I wish they had over here.
Didn't they have Super Mario World first?
Yeah, they did.
You say Mario?
Yeah, I know. Leave me alone. I'm trying to change it. It's
Mario?
You're like,
It's Mario. I know.
Mario, my gentlemen. Thank you.
With the show called Body Wrong.
Whoa, there it is. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Body Wrong podcast, sponsored by the Beard Laws Studio and Roid Rage Hemorrhoid Cream. I've been using some of the gummies still. The thickest of shits. Have to love it. I haven't had to use the
They're
cream.
delicious.
They're not bad. Actually, I look forward to them. I wish there was a little bit of THC in them.
Hey, you never know. That's an idea.
You know?
Do you have hemorrhoids? Are you also trying to get high?
But the trick is they're suppository gummies at that point. They're like just fact acting, tenactin over there, baby. Just wham.
All I picture is Ace Ventura doing his ass talking, like, yeah, feed me THC.
I forgot about that.
That's all I'm going to think about is his loud pants and him just opening up his cheeks the entire time now. So I thank you for that. But we were talking backstage a little bit. Max, maybe, do you have some younger people that you work with? Maybe some like 20-year-olds or anything like that?
Not in my industry now. I mean, a little bit. I mean, like maybe 26, 28, like not like kids, like, 21, 22,
Not born in the 1900s.
Well, remember, I worked at GameStop for 12 years. So like I had to work with like 17, 18, 19-year-olds, and it was the worst.
Dude,
I'll never do that ever again. Ever.
As soon as they turn in an application and it says born in and it starts with the year 2000 something, and I'm like, there ain't no five. What are they, 12? Like, there's no way. And then I'm looking and I'm like, holy shit. They're adults. They can drink. Like, that's wild. That's it. Just
getting
time.
old, man.
We are getting. I was talking to Goop. I got my hair cut, and obviously the lady decided to take my whole beard off. Still very upset about it. And I dropped the F word in exactly 2 minutes. Yes.
Best in 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying.
PR, baby.
It was 40 seconds for me last week. And 45 for you the week before, I'm pretty sure.
I think one time it was almost like 7 seconds. Like we just started off with, but no, lady takes off like half my beard. But I noticed whenever she was cutting my hair, and as soon as the light hits my head, I have so many damn grays now. I'm like, that's not mine. Like, I'm not getting that old, right?
Is it
This
stress?
was good.
You have a lot of stress in your life?
Every day I'm stressed, dude. I'm not even joking. Like, I have a doctor's appointment, not to turn into like a mental health podcast with some certain full-time influencers that we shall not discuss. Okay. But, I have an appointment on Friday to possibly get back on some medication to improve my mental health. And also, I think I'm going to get tested for ADHD because the hyperfixation is real, bro. When I like something, I like it a lot. When I hate it, I will flat out be like, okay, whatever. So,
Barely just texted me, shoot me the link. So this is going to be hilarious.
it's terrible that we can find a picture of Burley naked quicker than we could find the link to this show.
I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea he was naked. Because like the photo's dark and it was Burley. So like God only knows what's going to be there. So I didn't even click on it. I'm like, oh, she's just sitting there with his shirt off. Little did I know he was wearing no clothes at all.
Yeah, I knew it from the start. I looked at the picture. I'm like, he's in a hot tub. I'm like, who took the picture? And I knew he was naked. So I was like, I'm just going to gloss over that. I'm like, who took the picture? And yeah, the whole situation he's in right now. So I'm like, good for him.
I still have yet to see the picture. So now I feel like there's no better time to see the picture than
on
now.
The podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that wasn't that far, but the incident with the missus took up a lot of the feed here. Where is? Does it even still have it? He sends so many videos. It is insane.
It's legitimately hard to keep up on. Half the time I just skip it.
I don't think it's in there anymore. It must have expired. Oh no, there it is. There's
Doesn't it expire?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's yeah, he's 100% completely naked there. Good for
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Is that
It only took someone that we had no idea was still in the chat to read it and leave.
Yeah, 'cause it's been at least 2 years since that person's commented on anything.
At
Yeah.
least. At least.
So for context, we have a group chat, and with every group chat, there's always somebody that just is the silent listener or watcher. You know, they keep track of everything, and we have a few of them. But shout out to Jimothy, who participates and actually, you know, engages in the conversation every once in a while. We appreciate you, Jimothy. But there were some other individuals that we didn't even know, honestly, was still in.
What's up?
Oh shit.
We're in an Uber.
An Apple product. I legit look like a caveman at this point. I'm just like, how do you get anywhere with this piece of shit? And they're like, dude, it's so easy. Like, I'm like, no, you know what's easy? Android. Okay. You ever use Windows 98? Remember how easy Windows XP was? That's Android. Basic operating system. Really, but it's still high tech. Like, you can do plenty with it if you want to. Not a necessity. Love Android.
Windows XP, by the way, is the GOAT. It is by far the best Windows that we ever had.
Vista is when my life started turning upside down. I blame Windows Vista for that.
Oh, Windows Vista was awful.
What was the one after Vista? Now I gotta look it up. I gotta look at the generations of Windows.
I blocked all that stuff out. I don't want to remember that stuff.
There was one that was, I think it was Vista, that was so awful.
Yeah, Vista was really bad. They moved on from it real quick.
That was, I just remember because like Windows XP and just even remember Windows Me.
Ugh.
That was in between 2000 and XP. But like Windows.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But Windows 95 to Windows XP, beautiful. I don't know what it is. You could pop up one of those computers right now and I could do everything in that computer pops. You know what I mean? That was a prime machine. Back when Internet Explorer was like goated, you know?
OG.
Now it's dead.
It's still around,
It's weird,
but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't do the same. I mean, the funny thing is like, so like when I worked for GameStop, I was, let's see, I was like 18 or 19 when I was working. I started when I was 16, but I was in a management role when I was like 18 or 19. And this was before GameStop merged with EB. Basically, GameStop bought EB because EB had all the technology and GameStop, they were like the biggest Jews on the planet. It's like they did not spend money at all. They were awful. We were using literally DOS for our system. I would finish a transaction 3 minutes before the computer knew I was done. Like I'd be like, blah, 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 and it would be done. And I'd have to sit there and wait, and then the cash register would pop out or it would finish. They had no way of keeping track of game reservations. It would print out a slip, and we had to take that slip and put it in those little folio folders. You know, we had to alphabetize one of those, and you had to put all the slips in there. When 360 came out, this is going to date me, but when 360 came out and we were taking reserves for it, there was a giant binder and it had all these pages, and you had to put the customer's name on it. And anytime they added money to their reservation, you had to staple the slip to the piece of paper and then write it down. And
Jesus
dude,
Christ.
you had some people that would trade in 20, 30 times before like one page would be like just 50 slips. And if you lose one, there's no record of it anywhere.
So you give me a flashback to the GameStop stuff. So what was the last game you pre-ordered and had to be there at midnight? The 12:01, that game you had to get there. What was the last game you guys did that for?
I never did that.
Wow.
You got to think again. That's 30 miles for me to even get in line for another one. And
Man.
I lived in a rural area where I didn't even have high speed internet, so I wasn't even doing online gaming with like on the Xbox 360 until Black Ops 2 came out, maybe.
Jesus.
And that was on my mobile hotspot, which I don't know if you guys remember Foxfi. Did you guys ever have to use that app before?
No.
It was a free mobile hotspot back in the day, dude. That's what I used. And when that app went boo-boo, that's when I started rooting my phones. I was like, oh, this is easy. I was putting different kernels in there and everything. I felt like a genius. Everyone's like, what? How's your phone doing that? I take out my stylus and it sounded like a lightsaber coming out. And they're like, how's that? And I'm like, I don't even like Star Wars, but look at this. It was so sick.
What color was it?
Well, the stylus was just black.
Damn.
but
Okay. Ooh, dark saber.
No, if they had the light up ones too. And you know what? I don't even know why. I still love the notes. You know what? If you got AT&T, Samsung, you want to sponsor me? Give me a new phone. I'm ready for one. Okay. The stylus.
Well, the Galaxies have that. The big Galaxy, the whatever the biggest one has a
Ultra?
stylus. Yeah.
That's what this one is. I think whatever it has, like the 3 cameras that has the 100 times zoom and everything.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah.
Every time I post a picture of the moon, and which I found out later that it was like AI generated, like half of those pictures were. So every time I take a picture of like when it was a full moon, everyone's like, oh, you should become like a professional photographer. I was like, I know, right? Like, look at these pictures. They're so fucking good. I was like, I'm talented, And I found out later that I was like, oh, those reasons why those pictures look so damn good and everything is because
They
they're
were
AI generated.
AI touched.
I was like, nope. Because I was like, look, you can see every like crater in the moon and everything. And they're like, look how big it looks. Like, how are you getting like so close to it? And I was like, I'm just closer to God. I'm just spiritual. Reach out
I don't
and
have
touch
the
the moon.
shakes.
Do you think the moon would taste like a Whopper?
No.
That's what I assume it would taste like. Think about that
I'm thinking
crunchy
blue
insert.
cheese.
I flashed some moon pie.
Why not a cream pie? Moon pies are disgusting, by the way, too. But you know what I'm talking about? The crunch and the Whopper? That's what the moon reminds me of right now. I'd eat a ton of Whoppers.
I hate Whoppers.
I'm
It's
surprised.
probably
Yeah.
it's probably that like in my candy like top 10, it's like 30. I hate Whoppers so much.
Yeah. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but trick-or-treating, if there's a sleeve of like the 3 little Whoppers over there, I don't even have to open up the pack. You put one of them little balls in your mouth, no homo, and put your teeth like around it, open that bad boy up, eat the other 2. Oh, for some reason, they always taste stale now. I prefer them when they're in the milk carton. Give me those old school ones where you just pour them out. Feel like you're going to break every goddamn tooth in your mouth. That's what I want.
Dude, my mom, she would go to there's a store by her where they would sell food that was like almost expired or expired, and I forget what the name of the fucking place is. It's not Aldi, because Aldi has like
Sharp Shopper?
No,
There's a place in Winchester that does that. They do that bit where it's like stuff's almost expired.
Well, basically, it's funny because she always gives me and T-Dog, like, sometimes we still get Easter basket, like, Valentine's Day stuff. She'll get us candy. The one time, you guys ever have a Ferrero Rocher? It's the gold crinkly ball.
You bougie bitch. Yes. You're just like my daughter. She's got like, let me get the little 3-pack of these little gold balls. It's ridiculous.
They're delicious. Well, the one time my mom knows that I like them. She got me like it was like a circle plastic thing with a bunch of them in there. And so I grabbed one and I knew that she got them. We check expiration dates going forward, but I had it in my hand and I was like, and I went like this, and the inside was moving around in there, and I'm like, it's not supposed to do that. I probably shouldn't eat this. And I think I ate it anyway, but
is it Big Lots?
Judge Free Zone here. Big
or BB's?
We have Big Lots. I don't think it was a Big Lots though.
Okay.
I'll have to see. I'll do some research.
My grandma used to be the same way with all of her stuff. I mean, this woman, I think, lived during Prohibition and the Great Depression and everything. Like, she saved everything. And she, every time you get into the freezer, you'd be like, oh, sweet, like a popsicle. You take out the wrapper and it's just nothing but like frostbite. Like, it just has a whole bunch of icicles like on it. And you're like, what flavor is this? Put it under. She's like, just put it underneath the hot water. Everything will be fine. And you would, and you're like, oh shit. It was almost like a game. You're like, what color am I going to get? Ah, it's orange. Damn. You know what I mean? Like it was, but she would have some meat from the butcher and everything.
Oh.
And she'd have a whole cow every once in a while, but you have to look because she would like, here's some steaks, honey, go ahead. And I'm like, all right. And I look, and I swear to God, they'd be 7 years old. And I was like, what date is this? And she's like, it's been in the freezer the whole time. Everything's going to be fine. I'm like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. And she's like, it's still good. Watch, you want me to cook it up for you? And I was like, get out of here. No, you're trying to kill me. Like, and that's why she died quick.
Well, that's my follow-up question. How old was she before she died?
You know, I'm terrible about this. I never remember how old people are. I know she died in 2020, right before COVID. She knew it was up. She was like, She's like, I already can't shit well. You can't even get toilet paper right now? Kill me. She said, let me go. She was, I think, 85. So, I mean, a good life.
Yeah, I mean, she long lived it.
So, what age do you guys consider living a long life or a decent? Like, what would you be satisfied going at?
You really want to get depressed on this podcast?
I know,
Think
right?
about it. We're like halfway there almost.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm already over halfway, is what I'm assuming. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it depends. Okay, I feel like because obviously I deal with old people a lot with what I do. I feel like if you still have your faculties and you don't have to have someone wipe your ass, I feel like 75, 80 is totally doable without like being like senile and crazy. If you're talking, you don't have that. Like if you're, you got dementia or whatever, take me out immediately. Whatever age that is, just to take me out. Don't let me live,
So that's a good question because in Japan, there's a movie that I want to watch. It's called Plan 78, where the government will kill you at 78 years old. That way you're not a burden to your family or even if you're healthy. That way you can go out at 78 before your body starts shutting down and all the horrible things that could happen. So when my kids ask me the question, how old do you think you're going to live to, Papa? I'm like, I want to say 100, but I was like, no, I don't want to be that old. I want to be at least 78, 80 before I go. To die in my sleep.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
That's what I always hope for, too. I'm like, just let me go take a nap, dream about some titties, and just die.
Well, that's what the robot's for. Just poison me and just make love to me one last time. Just go out peacefully.
Could you imagine being like, hey, like you sign up for like how you want to die? Like, all right, do you want to die from, having sex with a sex robot? And you're like, that's exactly when I want to die. And then whenever they get you ready, they're like, all right, sir, turn around. You're like, why am I laying on my stomach? What the fuck? And they're like, you signed up for the gay sex robot before you die. You're like, of course that's how I'm going to die. Like, God damn it. This is hell. But I don't know. I think if I even made it to 70, I'd be like, that's good. That's all right. So that's why I'm thinking. In my mind, it was always 70. Like that's a pretty good life. I wouldn't be upset about that. I'm 35 this year. And then I think about how quick these 35 years just went. You know what I mean? Because you can easily remember shit from your childhood and everything. Like, oh, that wasn't that long ago. Just like we were talking. People put in 2000 for their birth year. That wasn't that long ago, right? And you're like, damn, do this all over again and I'm dead. And it's like, oh shit. Like I should probably quit beating off so much, but that's part of the only exercise that I'm doing as well as this running. You know what I mean? So
it's more embarrassing when you go to the grocery store and like there's a young girl behind like the cash register and they ask like, "What year were you born?" And you try to buy alcohol, and I'm like 86. They're like, they look at me, David, and they do a double take at me. I'm just like, oh, this felt weird. I'm like, just go with it.
I have so many grays that people don't ask me anymore. There's no need for me to pull out a driver's license when you have as many gray hairs as I do. They're probably like, oh, that guy's 50. Easy. Easy 50.
For some reason, I don't know if it was just because I've always had this gigantic ass forehead, so everyone just thought it was like a receding hairline. But whenever I was 16, I was buying cigarettes, so I was like, oh, this is cool. So I've always looked a little bit older, so I've always just like, oh, okay, I guess I just look older. This one bitch, her name is Crystal, and I call her Crystal Meth because she's only got like 2 teeth left. She's wild, right? And she was like, hey, she's like, well, you're about my age. And I'm like, bitch, how old are you? And I was like, I know you look rough, but damn, how old are you? She's like, I'm 54. And I was like,
Oh,
you know what? Go shoot up another load, bitch, because you're high as a kite if you think I look 50.
here's a
You
lighter
do
for
not
you.
look 50. Like,
No.
you do not look 50 at all, bro.
That's what I said too. And now since this bitch took half my fucking face off and everything too, people say I look a little bit younger, and I'm like, there we go now. It's like I'm looking younger again. And then I tilt my head down, and I'm like, back to being looking like George Clooney, little salt and pepper, baby.
Bro, you can't see a single. Can you see gray on him, bro?
No.
I'm
Not at all.
gonna send you guys a picture. When I show
way.
you the
Thank
picture,
you. You just picture your
Well,
ass.
I have a shaved head, and you can see how gray I am here. Like, there's a triangle. Like, if you put my head on a coloring book, they're like, here, trace the gray.
Here's all the numbers.
dude,
Yeah,
I'm telling
here's there's just be two,
you
the
can't
gray
see-
and white.
see how it looks a little this like that's gray. This is gray up here. There's you can't see it now. Now it looks like I'm just got thinning hair, but this
Yeah.
shit's all gray right here.
If
I'm telling
if
you.
that's all I had, I would be dancing in the street.
I know. You know what I mean? That's the comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, I like that saying. Name of the episode.
philosophy.
Name of the episode.
That's I mean, because I would rather have obviously no grays, but I am accepting again the fact that I've lived half my life. So I'm like, well, I gotta have a little bit of grays, getting grays in the beard, getting grays in the chest hair. That was wild. When I saw my first gray ball hair, I was like, life is over. Like this is
That's
it.
the only place I don't have grace.
Really?
Yeah.
What about
Fun
you, Goop?
facts. Well, I don't have any gray hairs.
Well,
That's
you're living
yours.
that mountain man life.
See, this is
He's
what
got testosterone for the both of us.
that's what I say. This is what happens when you actually take care of your body and you are physically fit and everything. He's like gray hairs, and he's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Me and Max over here just talking about like, "Hey, you want to see our tits? Like, look at these things."
Yeah, look at this areola.
I'm up to a B. You know,
It's a firm B.
so no gray hairs at all.
No. Not at all.
No, are you just I'm gonna get sexual with you now. Are you a hairy individual altogether? Like you got chest hair, back hair? How hairy are you?
I get. I'm close to a bear, but I mean, I guess I'll have chest hair here, but like definitely got hair in the back. But I shaved that mess. But yeah, pretty hairy.
See, I have 2 little spots on my back where like, well, I guess I get like a little bit in my shoulders and everything, but nothing significant. But I got this one spot though, almost on my love handle, just right in the spot in my back here, about this big, hairy as shit. And so I have to shave this one spot every time.
That's actually hilarious.
It's fun. Like we went to we had to stay in a hotel last weekend, and my boys were like, let's go swim. And I was like, oh yeah, before we leave, let me shave my back. It's like if I get in the pool, I don't want people thinking I got this just wild, I mean, it's almost like a perfect square too. I'm pretty sure my parents were related. Like at this point, they had to have been.
See, for me, back my lower back, I have this huge like big like circle spot. It looks like a bird. It's a bird mark, but it looks like people think it's a birthmark. But I was 13 when I was in the South Korean mountains, and this man was doing acupuncture on my back. He put fire in my back. It burned my entire back here. So there's a huge like burn mark back here, and it's still there. But it's like if I'm at the beach or at the pool, people like my friends will ask me like, "What happened? Is that a birthmark?" I'm like, "It's just a burn."
You did more shit by 13 than
I
would
traveled a
probably do
lot,
on my own.
dude.
You sound like Angelina Jolie. You know, like I was getting acupuncture in the South Korean mountains by a monk. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like I'm over here just like I haven't even left the United States ever. And
Really?
Yeah. I've been to probably I don't know, like 30 of the states, but that's it.
Have you been on a cruise before?
No, that never would either. Get
Oh,
hell terrifying.
Cruises
bro.
are great.
I know, right?
Cruises are
Never.
great.
Never.
You're just a gluttonous slob that in an area where you can't do anything but be a gluttonous slob.
That's what sucks. You know what I mean? And I don't know, but like the fact that you could probably die while being a gluttonous slob, I know that's one of like the deadly sins, isn't it? So I'm not dying that way. Mm-mm.
Dude, you don't feel like you never like you only see the shit that people post on social media. Like that's like every now and again. Although I will say this, I think recently there was something with Trump. I think cut a whole bunch of the people who are like supposed to. I forget what the department is, but they're like the people that make sure that there's no like shit on cruise ships, like diseases and all this other shit. So like people are saying like you should probably be careful going on cruises now because you could get like some shit because there's not really many people doing it. I don't know. Then again, it's social media, so who knows? But
Yeah.
I mean, with all the cuts, I don't know.
Yeah, so he kills the CDC's cruise ship scrutiny, like this, whatever CDC they have on the boat.
Yep.
So we're gonna get scurvy now, or whatever that is. Like, what is?
Well,
It's
because
he cut the CDC is they're like the people that make sure there's no infectious diseases and shit because there's so many
the virus is
gluttonous
spreading.
slobs. Yeah.
God, I just picture 7 dicks.
So yeah, you probably shouldn't go on a cruise now. It's probably not a good idea.
I have a friend that refuses to fly right now, and he was a big puss when it came to flying in general. Right, he was not a big fan of it, but he has to go to this work function, and it's in Nashville, and which is about a 9 to 10 hour drive from where we're from, and there's a neighboring town about 30 minutes from where we work that has another employee that has to go, and he's like, hey, our boss is like, hey, if you're not going to fly, just ride together with these people. I'm not paying for mileage for both of you. And he's like, what? He's like, I'm not going to ride with people I don't know. And he's like, or you can fly. And he goes, all right, I'll ride with people I don't know. I would have flown. There's no way in hell I'm riding with people for that long. And
No
her husband's
way,
going,
dude.
who doesn't even work with the company. And I'm like, what? So the husband's going to drive while the wife sits in the shotgun seat, and he's going to be like a toddler in the back seat. And I was like, what are you going to do? He's like, hang out with my best friend, Molly. And he goes, and I'm going to rip my weed pen in the back of their car, whether they like it or not. And I was like, what are you going to do with the smoke? And he goes, come on, bro. He's like, don't be an amateur. He goes, you swallow that shit. He goes, I'm just going to go. And he kept doing that. I was like, stop it right now. And I was like, there's no way that's what you're doing. He goes, oh yeah. He's like, I'm going to put my hood up. He goes, and I'm just going to sit there just. And I was like, you're so stupid.
Because you can't see that shit in the rearview mirror where you can see the whole back seat.
And with half of these pins, you can literally hear it bubbling. You know what I mean? So like, they're just going to be driving here and, you know, he's an idiot. But not a shot in hell. If they told me how to ride with people I don't know, unless they had some Whoppers and some gummies, and then I might be talked into it.
There's a 10-hour drive is way too long. That's too much.
You guys
I think
fly
my cap
often.
is like 5 to 6 hours. Tops.
For me, yeah, I hear you. It depends on the situation. Sometimes if there's something you need to bring with you, like cargo wise or luggage wise, you can't bring on a plane. Then yeah, you gotta drive. But yeah, my mom was afraid of flying. To this day, she refuses to fly. She refuses to be on a cruise ship or any like stuff like that.
I like your mom.
Thank you.
T-Dog was afraid of flying for the longest time, dude. And then now she's fine. Well, I don't know about now with all the planes going down, but she was fine with it.
We haven't heard any of her commentary right now. Is she has a lady night out or something?
No, she's here.
Yeah, I told her she's been awfully quiet.
You even
Why
said
isn't she
you're
talking
being
shit?
quiet today.
No input.
Hear me?
She
You
said,
know what?
nobody wants to hear me.
You know what? Ask her what she thinks about Ulta, because I had to go to an Ulta store today and to do their
What the
pickups.
were you doing in Ulta?
That's what I had to pick up an order for the missus. And she's like, hey, can you go pick this up for me? And I was like, yeah, this should be easy peasy. You know, I pull into the spot, say, hey, I'm here. I'm in spot number 1. And 10 minutes goes by and I'm like, so I recheck in again and I'm like, I'm here, spot number 1. I was like, I'm not going in there. Last time they shoved those coffee beans in my face, as you guys know, I hate coffee. I hate the smell of coffee. It's on sight if you try to put that shit under these nostrils. No way. But it took them 25 minutes to bring the shit out. And I called him. I was like, where are you guys? And they're like, excuse me? And I was like, I can see you guys through the window. Turn around and bring me my shit. And I was like, my last name is this, whacking off. And I was like, can you bring me my stuff? And they're like, oh, it didn't even say that you were here. And I was like, I literally honked and waved. I'm like, I'm flashing my lights. You can see this shit. I'm not, give me my stuff. God bless. Self-tanning shit and everything. I'm so glad I have a penis. There ain't no way I'm going through that shit.
So hold up.
Yeah, going in there is rough, bro.
So you did all that. Did you do dishes last night or whenever that night was?
No. These deals, that's what I'm talking about. Women make these deals. I'm still upset. I could probably tell you the year. I think it was 2013. There was a Cowboys versus Giants game. That was back when she was a Giants fan because she was a big Eli Manning fan because she likes the slowly challenged people. That's why she married me. So
That makes sense.
but she was like, oh, I like Eli Manning, yada, yada, yada. And there was one game where they were winning and we had this like great comeback. I don't know what year it was, but it was around that time. And I told her, I was like, hey, because she goes, oh, I bet the Cowboys are going to lose. And I was like, what are you willing to bet? And she's like, you see all this laundry and everything else? She's like, you get to do all that. Fold it, put it away and everything else. And I'm like, ugh, I don't really want to do that. And she goes, what do you want if the Cowboys win? I was like, I want to film it. And she goes, film what? Me putting away the laundry? I was like, no. I want to film it. And she goes, the Cowboys ain't wearing this shit. And she goes, and I ain't doing laundry. She's over like make herself some little snacks, everything. Cowboys came back and she's like, nah, still never paid that debt. And I'm like, bitch, why are we even? I was like, I guarantee I would have had to done the laundry. And she goes, you bet your ass you would have. And I'm like, what the kind of, that is not a gentleman's agreement at all. Like who does that?
Yeah, we got a lot of debts that need to be repaid over here.
Speak louder. Don't be shy. Hey, this is a safe space. So I wish you'd turn the speakers up. I'm like, T-Dog, pay up your debts, bitch. You're not a Lannister. Hey, yeah, say that. Say T-Dog is definitely not a Lannister.
Love the tie-in.
Do it. He's like, you can tell he gets beat. Like he's scared right now.
I just get his face is getting red. I know. I love it.
No, it's because I can't breathe. T-Dog. I was saying you owe me a lot of debts to be paid. Did you hear that? You're talking about blowjobs.
She's immediately
at
like,
least
no.
10. But I mean, you gotta remember, we've been together for like 14 years, so I mean, it's less than one a year. I mean, but that's a lot of debt.
I mean, that's a lot of interest.
She's like, I don't know how you claim bankruptcy with BJ debts. Like,
can you put that
That's
in
a
like
title
divorce?
Right there. That's a title right
that's
there.
the
It's no
title of the episode right there.
Well, can you imagine going to your lawyer, like you're splitting up and everything, and he's like, hey, what is it that you're wanting? I was like, I want those 10 BJs she promised me back in 2013, and she's going to film it. He'd be like, I can't make her do that. Well, she ain't going to get the car. I don't know what you want to tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, you go to the lawyer and be like, yeah, I need to claim bankruptcy from my spouse. Wait, what are you talking about? Well, here's the list. I don't know what to do, but I owe a lot. I'm in a lot of debt. I can't pay them. They can't be paid. You go in front of a judge, and the judge is like, like, what is this case?
Watch it be Judge Judy. You know what I mean? Like, son of a bitch.
She's like, oh, what is this?
Baloney.
5 blowjobs. Get out of my court.
You have 2 weeks to do it. Like, shut up and get out of here.
And she's like, and you better film it. Yes, Judge Judy. Thank you. And then you get the remember how they always used to do like the post interviews after the decision or whatever, the verdict?
Yeah.
Like, well, how do you feel about this? And then they'd have to interview the wives and be like, I'm gonna give that son of a bitch 5 flow jobs. He's gonna put it on Pornhub. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And then they get the guy. How do you feel?
I won the lottery.
There was the judge was fair. We didn't get exactly what we wanted, but this is definitely a win for us. So, honey, see you in the car. Got my camera. Here we go. You know, sleeves. You know, the guy's gonna be smiling. What would be the magic number? Actually, I don't know. So do you usually have to get convinced to go somewhere? Like, so say, does T-Dog go, hey, I want to go to this event, and you're like, that sounds terrible. She goes, hey, I'll suck you off if you go. And you're like, 100% I'm going to go to this event now.
I'm
you go to-
excited.
Then you go to the event and you're like, hey, when's this gonna happen? And they say, oh, I was just joking about that. You're like, then get out, take an Uber. I'm leaving this event. Has it ever happened to you before though? Did she give you a promise to go to an event? I feel like Dr. Phil over here.
I don't know actually, now that I think about it.
You guys are gonna break up next week. I'm gonna trigger a whole bunch of times. You're like, yeah, she actually owes me 27 of these damn things. What about you, Goot? Has it ever happened where you ever promised intimacy to go somewhere?
If I don't want to go somewhere, I won't go. But it's like, have fun with your friends. I don't care. I'm here.
His kids call him Papa.
That's true.
This motherfucker's got like the essence of a man. We should just have vaginas at this point.
And how are they calling you Papa with no gray hairs?
So there is a bet, or not a bet. There's a transaction that's been building for me. So my wife said after the first time she went to out of town, South Carolina area, that she, like, with her being gone for a week, that I could go anywhere I wanted, off the grid if I wanted, wherever, for a week. So I've been counting each other week how many weeks I have, just to whenever I move, like, screw this, I'm gonna go disappear for a week.
Where would you go? Oh, there we go.
So my first thought was, I kid you not, my first thought was to go back to India to heal my body, like, just to get like all these different like crazy stuff, like acupuncture, and like just to heal my body. But I watched that the documentary on Netflix, Enigma, with Aaron Rodgers. I would probably go to South America, do the whole I can't say the word, the ayahuasca. I would go do that. I'm intrigued by that.
I love how I can't resonate with anything else, but once you mention the drug, I'm like, boom, got you, homie. Like, superpower activated. My bat signal's out, But it's wild, by the way. You were a wild for just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to India, just cleanse my spirit a little bit, get some acupuncture. You know what I mean? If someone told me that right now, I'd be like, what? I could not imagine. If someone even told me to go to like Kansas City to go get acupuncture, I'm like, that's a good day. Like that's a good little hour trip, make a little day out of it. You're over here like, I'm gonna go to India. That's why.
I go to Japan, man. I really do. Like, I'd be down to like check out Japan. It's like, that's like on the list.
My brother-in-law married a Japanese woman out there, and they have children, and he teaches English to the kids out there. So he's always like, hey, you guys need to come out. You need to come out. My wife and mother-in-law went out there for a trip, and they were like, you gotta come out here. They would look at you just being over 6 foot tall. They're like, it was crazy to go. Every single person that they saw that was tall, they were like huddling around taking pictures of and stuff. And I was like, that would be amazing. I was like, I want to do that. But it just the cultural aspects of it, and just the buildings and everything that they're probably not, I don't know what they're called, but there was like these towers or whatever that she was taking pictures of Nagasaki. Yeah. And then there was also I can't remember, there's another town too that they're from. There's a smaller town that they live in. But yeah, it's just crazy. You look at that stuff and how different it is here, and you're like, I just can't even imagine it. I'm so used to cornfields and everything else that I can't imagine anything different.
They're like way ahead of us, dude. With
100%.
Technology and shit out there.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I love to go there, just do all that fun stuff. But I just spend one day at Universal Studios, because they do have like a Black Pearl like pirate ship. They have like Jaws, the massive Jaws set, and like stuff that I wish they had over here. But there's just cool stuff over there.
Didn't they have Super Mario World first?
Yeah, they did.
You say Mario?
Yeah, I know. Leave me alone. I'm trying to change it. It's
You're like,
it's Mario. I know.
Mario, my gentlemen. Thank you. But the
fuck you guys.
Did
T-Dog behind the green screen, and you too.
we need T-Dog on here.
You're cool.
We need to get her just a mic at this point. You know what I mean? Just have her she can still stay behind the screen, but just give her own designated mic back there.
When there's like little TikTok mics, so she can chime in. We're getting you a mic, babe.
And when we can start, whenever we do
Oh,
that,
why?
we'll put the TikTok shop icon on there so we can get some revenue from the TikTok mics and everything. But when you were talking about Universal Studios, do you guys ever buy the fast passes whenever you
I
go to a
do.
theme park?
Yeah, I do
I
that every.
haven't been to a theme park in many years, but yes, when we went, you have to get a fast pass.
Yeah,
How
every
much
time I
Plus, to
is
do.
stand with the
Yeah,
like
the normies.
peasants.
Yeah. I do that every time we go down for the Halloween Horror Nights. You have to, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to do everything in one night, or it's just you have to do like 2 nights or whatever. You wouldn't be able to do all the mazes and see all the different things and ride roller coasters too. So I mean, you got to do it.
They're crazy expensive now, though, right? It used to be like $50 or something.
Well, and now they limit like how many that you can do, like how many of the rides that you can ride and stuff at certain locations. It's wild. But I've never had one before, and I am one of those suckers that waits 2 hours to ride one ride amongst a whole bunch of sweaty, hot individuals that
That's
smell
Yeah.
like fajitas.
Too old for that. I'm too old for that.
Ugh, that's what
We have a Six Flags up here, like in Jersey, and they've recently retired my favorite ride of all time. It's called the King Ka. I have been on it multiple times, but it was
the fact checker in the background.
That was quick
it's like
too.
yeah, I know. It was like the tallest roller coaster they had, and it would just shoot up and spiral up, and it would stop and then go down. Dude, if you're in the front car, your whole face you're just like blah, 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 like your skin is like flying back, your eyeballs are popping out. But I guess it was time to retire it and put something new. But it was awesome. And then they had a secondary ride that was like an elevator drop, and it would go up in the center of the roller coaster all the way up to the top because it was tallest, and that was like the secondary ride if you wanted to do that. Rip King Ka, baby.
I like roller coasters, but every time I get them now, I get super anxious, especially when my kids are on it with me. Expect like the ones that you sit into a seat and your feet dangle or whatever. So you have like the over the shoulder harness going over you. I'm over there checking that seatbelt. I'm tugging on that like 5 or 6 times before even the guy, whenever he checks it, I was like, that guy makes $13. There ain't no way, And I look at my kids and I'm like making sure, and I already have like a plan in place. I'm like, whenever I see one of their seats malfunction, I'm going to be like the guy in the blind side. I'm going to just put my arm out. I'm going to protect them. I got this shit. Everything's going to be fine. And I'm enjoying the ride. I'm like, that wasn't so bad. I was like, I wasn't even freaked out in the slightest.
They
But I am every
check
time.
you like that guy that does the like the famous
meme.
video of the guy that letting people into the stadium where it's just like, no, you're good. That's how they check you. You're like, if I fall, you're not going to give a like.
He's not
Yeah.
getting sued. It's
No.
the whole, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, I don't give a shit. He's like, they don't pay me enough to worry about your life.
There's a 50-50 chance you could make. No, you could die. Because for me, Six Flags was a Superman. That one, I thought I was going to die on that one because you go straight up, and I was in the front cart, and you stop, and then when you come down, it's just the normal seatbelt, and you come out of the seat, and the G forces hold you down. But like I was holding on for my life, use the damn handlebar. But I thought I was going to die, but it was.
Is that the one that holds you strictly up by this? You don't have anything under you, right?
Yeah, it's like that, but it comes up though, and it's just a normal seatbelt. But you come out of the seat when you go straight down. It's insane. G forces, man.
There's
it's
no
crazy.
floor. Yeah, there's no floor. It's pretty wild. There's another one at Six Flags too. I forget what it was called, but it was a roller coaster that had, like it was like almost like a yellow pedestal looking thing, and that was the only thing. It like buzzed in like this, and it held your waist in place, and you stood as you were going down. And that one was wild
I
too.
like
dude.
how you.
Swish.
We have the cover photo.
God damn it,
I'm
man.
just checking it out.
I did it too. It's all good.
Well, at one point we all did. So if Matt can time it correctly, it'll be all three of us looking like
He's
we're
going to time it correctly. We all know that he's going to time it correctly.
Mighty Morphin
We need
Power
to stop
Rangers.
pointing this shit out
We
because we just
do.
give him fuel.
We do. And, like he can actually like record or pinpoint when we do it as well because we just pointed out. But the one thing that I do before we go here is I like the water rides where you can be on the outside while these carts are coming through or the little boats, and you get to spray the individuals on the ride, I will sit there for an hour. And even if it's a quarter each time, give me a bucket of quarters. I ain't going anywhere. I will spray one individual relentlessly. If there's 6 individuals on a spot, I'm hitting that same individual the entire duration. When they're sitting there going like, hey, why does it mean I'm hitting them just directly in the face? And they're like, stop. And I'm just like, nope. I live for that shit. Do you guys ever do that at all?
Is that the one where you're on like a floaty? They're like, I forget what the setup is.
The one at the local one that we go to or whatever, it's they're like on a little pirate ship, so they each have their own little cannons too, but they're usually not as strong as the ones that are sitting outside of the ride or whatever. So I'll sit outside. You might get a little wet over there, but that person that's getting my wrath usually might even lose an eye because I'm going directly through their skull, dude. I love it. I'm actually getting a little antsy thinking about going to a theme park now. That sounds fun. I can take my frustrations out on some children on an amusement park ride.
That. Yeah, I don't know if we have that.
I think they still have it at Kings Dominion, but it's been like 30 years since I've been like the whole swimming area, the water side to it. But my favorite ride was the Batwing. I love that one at Six Flags.
Do you want me to show you a picture of a Batwing?
Please do.
It's going to be quite veiny.
Yeah,
it will. Hey, we're talking about scars, okay? Okay, Joker, you want to see my scars? I'm gonna have.
You want to knock out these scars? You want to see a magic trick?
I'm gonna show you how I got these scars. I'm gonna show you that football lace scar I got on these testicles. Remember that? You guys haven't seen that one yet. Since Burley likes to send half of his photos naked, I'm gonna send you guys a picture of these gargantuan testicles. These things are beefy. If I were to go to the butcher, they would sell each testicle, I guarantee, $3.99 a pound, bro. Like that thing, these things are, I'm getting at least $8 for these things in the market.
I don't know if you guys follow baseball, but speaking of testicles, I saw sometimes I get like the interesting facts from people. And there was one about, I don't know if it was the Brewers. It's one of the really bad baseball teams. Apparently since like 1970, they've had 5 people get hit in the testicles and have ruptured testicles, and they've ruptured more testicles than have had playoff games or some playoff berths. It's since like 1970 or some crazy shit. Yeah, I forget which team it was. It's like one of the dog shit teams. I don't follow baseball enough, but they went through this whole thing and then they ended it with, and that's why they've had more testicles ruptured than playoff wins or some crazy stat.
It's the Seattle Mariners.
The Mariners.
Yeah.
Googled that. There was like it came right up.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I love Google.
I got so much phlegm in this throat, you would think that I'm getting terrorized by a ghost dick.
So it's happened 4 times, and they've never been the playoffs.
So you're talking about they were actually ruptured?
Oh yeah,
they got hit right in the testicle.
Since 1980, yeah.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
Just boom.
I am wearing my Royals shirt because there is actually the guy that's pitching today, Noah Cameron, is a local celebrity. He's he's from St. Joseph, so where I work at. So he's going to be pitching today. I hope he's doing well. He actually just started, I think, about 20 minutes ago. And speaking of baseball, it is my time to get the heck out of here. I've got kids to pick up. I was 15 minutes late last week. I will not be late this week. So we do appreciate you guys for sticking with us and listening to our stories. If you guys would like to see the picture of Burley, send us some money. We can be bought. How much would you guys sell it for?
Burley fans.
$5 easy.
$1.99.
Burley's going to be jacking off one of these times, and he's just going to see sexy singles in his area, and it's going to be his picture. But we'll leave you guys with that imaginary picture. We'll let you guys see how Burley looks naked. If you guys want to draw it, send those in as well. But we appreciate your guys' time. Gentlemen, appreciate your guys' time as well. Hope you guys enjoy your week. We'll see you guys next time. Hit us with that outro.
Tony, Matt, Tyson, Goot, you been and Rob are bringing this show for y'all. They're gonna say what they want and keep it raw with the show called Body Wrong.